Welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth and this is Beth's Bookish Reviews, and I am here today to share with you my April TBR. Now, I did film this and pull my prompts, but I just decided, because that was such a mess and it was chaotic, that I would just share with you what prompts I pulled and what books I chose, because yeah, some of that got lost in the shuffle. So I usually pull like 4 books from my 52 books in 52 weeks. So I pulled prompt 37, genre chosen by someone else, and it was The Sanatorium. Oh, I will just show you what I got, and then I will show you the books after, because they also go for another prompt, most of them. I also pulled number 40, Stream of Consciousness Narrative, and I have Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. I have Found Family Trope number 22, and that is Babel by R.F. Kuang. I think I have 5. I have number 38, An Adventure Story, Running Blind by Lee Child. And I have Direction in the title, Jan Karen, A Light in the Window. Then I drew, now A Light in the Window was one of my 25 books in 25, so I did pull the 52 books in 52 weeks. So, and then I also pulled We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. All right, now, as you know, we're getting into the books now. As you know, I am reading a Dickens every other month. So January and February, my friend Chris and I, we read the Pickwick Papers. So March and April, we are reading Oliver Twist. I'm not doing so well in March with Oliver Twist. So I've only made it to 26. I'm gonna have to read some. I also pulled the prompt classic author, and so that fit that one. For Jenna's book club, Books Love Everyone, we are reading We'll Prescribe You a Cat by Shiyu Ishida. I don't think I pronounced that right. And H is for Hawk by Helen McDonald. Okay, I don't have a label for this one. I'll just put my little 52 books in 52 weeks in here. So I have A Light in the Window by Jan Karen. I have The Sanatorium by Sarah Pierce. And it also fulfills the prompt. Reese Witherspoon book club pick, and it's right there. For Historathon, for the second quarter, and based on a true story, I'm going to be reading The Crusades by Thomas Asbridge. That's stretched out over 3 months. here is my book, Running Blind by Lee Child. And it does not have a prompt either. This is my stream of unconsciousness narrative, Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. All right. I need to catch up on my Ellen Montgomery reading that I'm supposed to be reading with Chantel and her Patreons, which I am a part of. I need to just start with Anne of Green Gables. I also need to read Anne of Avonlea, which fits the prompt, a book in a series. I don't know if I'll get all of these read. I also need to read in the series Anne of the Islands and Anne of Windy Poplars. All right. The last one that I have to read for like a book club is for the 250th birthday celebration of Jane Austen. We will be reading Pride and Prejudice, of course, by Jane Austen. And it also is fulfilling my prompt for romance. Now, I will link all these wonderful people down below. And if you would like to join in all the fun, you can visit their channels and find out more about these book clubs and read-alongs and celebrations. Okay, now for just book prompts. For the book prompt under 30 author, so an author under 30 years of age, I chose Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights, and this is about Heathcliff and I can't remember the girl's name. Heathcliff and why can't I remember the girl's name? Catherine. Yes, Catherine. It's time I read that again. So I had a prompt, a book my significant other picked. So he likes Reacher, and so he's listened to a couple of the Reacher books with me, and even though I already had a Lee Child on here, he picked A Wanted Man by Lee Child, and it's a little chunky. All right. I also had a middle grade book written by a BIPOC author, so I'm going to be reading Rebound. This is also another one of my 52 books in 52 weeks. Several of these books are books for that. All right, now we get into the big hardbacks. Okay, so this is one of my 25 books in 25. I don't think it has any others. Richard Osman's We Solve Murders. I don't even really know what this is about. Okay, so solving murders, it's a family business. Steve Wheeler is enjoying retired life. He still does the odd bit of investigation work, but he prefers his familiar routines. The pub quiz, his favorite bench, his cat waiting for him at home. His days of adventure are over. Adrenaline is daughter-in-law Amy's job. Now, Amy Wheeler thinks adrenaline is good for the soul. Working in private security every day is dangerous. She's currently on a remote island protecting mega best-selling author Rosie D'Antonio until a dead body and a bag of money mean trouble in paradise. So she sends an SOS to the only person she trusts. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. All right. So I've been wanting to read this book, and I've put it on a couple of TBRs. I've even marked it out, and I still haven't read it. I started it, but I haven't done it. I pulled the prompt flowers on the cover, and there are some, I don't know if those are daisies or what they are, but it is Kate Morton's The Clockmaker's Daughter. So it says, my real name no one remembers. The truth about that summer no one else knows. In the summer of 1862, a group of young artists led by the charismatic and talented Edward Radcliffe descends upon Birchwood Manor on the banks of the Upper Thames. Their plan to spend a secluded summer month in a haze of inspiration and creativity, but by the time their stay is over, one woman has been shot dead, while another has disappeared. A priceless heirloom is missing, and Edward Radcliffe's life is in ruins. I'm really, really excited about some of these book of the months that I've picked out, especially the two I've just showed you and this next one. I saw this and thought I never want to read that because the title threw me off. But upon reading the description, because I was picking out my book of the year, I said, I've got to have that book. It is The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. So I pulled a book you think you will rate 5 stars. When a teenager vanishes from her Adirondack summer camp, two worlds collide. Early morning, August 1975. A camp counselor discovers an empty bunk. Its occupant, Barbara Van Laer, has gone missing. Barbara isn't just any 13-year-old. She's the daughter of the family that owns the summer camp and employs most of the region's residents. And this isn't the first time a Van Laer child has disappeared. Barbara's older brother similarly vanished 14 years ago, never to be found. I love the sprayed edges. I'm excited to read this. So excited. I pulled a book with a purple cover, and I chose Queen of Exiles by Vanessa Riley. And this is about a woman who is inaugurated, who marries, she's crowned queen of the newly liberated Kingdom of Haiti as her husband begins his reign over the first and only free black nation in the Western Hemisphere. After a long and bloody revolution, Haitians still struggle under mountains of debt to France and indifference from former allies Britain and the new United States. Louise desperately tries to steer the country's political course as King Henry manages its internal strife. So King Henry's overthrown, and she and her daughter flee to Europe and to exile, and they live in exile. So I'm excited to read this one. The next one, I'm also excited to read. I get a lot of my book suggestions from Jenna over on Books Love Jenna. But I pulled the prompt, has a word in the title related to reading. So I picked up The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. So tale is like a tale that you, like a story. That's what I'm taking it as. So it says, tell me the truth. It is a simple request, but one that shakes the reclusive and enigmatic novelist Vida Winter to her very core. For has she not spent the past 6 decades writing fictional lives that have not only brought her fame and fortune, but kept her violent and tragic past a secret? Now old and ailing, Vida Winter cannot escape her own history, no matter how many stories she weaves. And then I pulled this one as one of my 52 books in 52 weeks. But I also found that she is a internet famous author, Babel by R.F. Kuang. I don't think I need to tell you much about this. It's pretty popular. It's about Babel, which is a languages college. It's a college that's famous for languages. And they also have some magic, and they make silver work. Has magic and translation is what they say, but language. Silver working, the art of manifesting the meaning lost in translation using enchanted silver bars. So I enjoyed it the last time I read it, and I think I'll enjoy it even more this time. All right. I'm dipping into YA. I think this is YA anyway. But I pulled the prompt, a book with a one-word title. And so I thought I would read Dragon Fruit by Makai Lucier. Hanalei of Tamarind is the cherished daughter of an old island family, but when her father steals a sea dragon egg meant for an ailing princess, she is forced into a life of exile. In the years that follow, Hanalei finds solace in studying the majestic sea dragons that roam the Nominee Sea, until one day an encounter with a female dragon offers her what she desires most, a chance to return home and to right a terrible wrong. Okay, this next one, I also marked it out. I have been wanting to read it, started reading it, got to a point where I just couldn't get past. Something happens in the book and I couldn't pass it. So I need to finish it. It was just a few pages in. But a book from your favorite genre, which is a thriller. 1975 is a time of change in America. The Vietnam War is ending. Muhammad Ali is fighting Joe Frazier, and in the small town of Montclair, Missouri, girls are disappearing. When the daughter of a wealthy family is targeted, the most unlikely hero emerges. Patch, a local boy who saves the girl and in doing so leaves heartache in his wake. Patch and those who love him soon discover that the line between triumph and tragedy has never been finer, and that their search for answers will lead them to truths that could mean losing one another. So that's All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. I realize I didn't show you the name of it. And my last book, I drew the prompt. A book you've had for a long time. And I've had this on my shelf for, I think, 2 years. It is Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfeld. And it says, Sally Mills is a sketch writer for the Night Owls, a late-night live comedy show that airs every Saturday. With a couple of heartbreaks under her belt, she's long abandoned the search for love, settling instead for the occasional hookup, career success, and a close relationship with her stepfather to round out a satisfying life. But when Sally's friend and fellow writer, Danny Horst, begins dating Annabelle, a glamorous actress who guest hosted the show, he joins the not-so-exclusive group of talented but average-looking and even dorky men at the show and in society at large who've gotten romantically involved with incredibly beautiful and accomplished women. Sally channels her annoyance into a sketch called The Danny Horst Rule, poking fun at this phenomenon while underscoring how unlikely it is that the reverse would even happen for a woman. Enter Noah Brewster. And that's where I'm going to stop. So I'm really looking forward to this one too. So I'm so looking forward to all these books, and I hope I can get to a lot of them. I want to read so many of them. I want to read them all, but some of them I don't know if I can read all of them in April, because April's such a busy month, with testing and everything. But anyway, that is my TBR for the month of April. If you would like to read any of these with me, just let me know, and I will be happy to schedule time, get with you and schedule time during the month to read a certain book. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more from me, just give me a thumbs up and click that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.